So I'm going to show you guys what I do for my breakfast. I'm trying to stay away from the breads, so I want to make myself a really healthy breakfast. So the body doesn't quite know, what is a donut, what is bread, etc. But it knows it knows that you do need specific nutrients, and if you break it down to your carbs, fats, and your proteins, you definitely need all of that. But I choose to go the healthier way instead of having bread, pancakes, stuff like that for breakfast, or sweet cereals. I'm gonna show you my little mix. I'm only gonna use half of this, but I'm gonna use the bottom half. Now, somebody told me a while back is instead of cutting it this way from, in the middle of the stem, cut it from there, because what happens is this is the heart and the life of that vegetable. If you cut that, it's going to start dying. So it will actually last a little longer in the fridge if you cut it like this. The skin of this yam is a little it's a little older, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel that one, but this one I'm going to cut it as is because I like a little bit of roughage in there. Usually I'll throw a few other small things in there, but I'm going to keep this one really simple for you. This is an older yam, so you can see as soon as I start peeling it and it's oxidized and starting to go brown outside there. What I like to do is I cut these in kind of thin slices, so it makes it easier for me to dice it. Okay, so I've cut it like that, then I'll cut it lengthwise again into strips. And then from there, it's really easy to dice. It'll all get sorted. So you see they're more or less all similar size. So as you can see, I've cut the celery a little smaller as well, just so that they can be diced up into smaller pieces. Now for the carrots. So what I did was I peeled half of it, the other half I didn't peel, just trying to be funny today. But generally what I would do is I just wash the carrots and I actually eat the whole thing. Don't generally peel the carrot for this. So yeah, we'll cut them into nice small pieces, and there's more to go around. So I've cut the carrot into a quarter. I'm going to put a nice glob of coconut oil. Now also, if you look at how I've placed everything here, I've separated all the different veggies because each of them take different times to cook. Right? The onions is really more just for a bit of flavor. The yams take a little longer to cook. Then after that I'll throw the carrots, celery, and then peppers last. Okay, so that pan's pretty hot now, so we're going to start with the onions. We'll braise them a little. Just a little, I don't want to over fry them. So you see I only used a quarter of an onion because this is not a crazy flavorful dish that I'm making. It's really, really simple. So there we go. Now, believe it or not, that's actually enough. Now, the reason why I throw this into a plate, because it's just so easy to throw it into the pan. Okay. So you'll let that simmer for a bit till they soften up a little. Another thing you can do if you want to is actually cover this and let that steam cook through. So you're not frying it completely and just letting it, it actually cooks a lot faster, believe it or not. So just stir that around a little. Let everything get a little bit of an oil coating. It's a really nice simple dish. It's not like you've got to rush and really watch things and it's going to burn. You just kind of let it sit and simmer for a bit. And have my cup of tea. I'm not a big wine drinker when I cook. I'm a tea guy. Oh, be a little more adventurous and daring. A little bit of a flip. That gets it really nice and mixed and coated. Like I said, you can cover it. That'll steam it and actually get it to cook a little quicker. Every now and then give it a bit of a stir. You can see that moisture getting trapped inside there. Yeah. And that bit of a sizzle, that's actually the moisture. You can see it's drying out a little bit. Well, actually the coconut oil is soaked into those yams. So you cook it a little longer with the lid on. Okay. It's up to you if you want to taste one and see if they're cooking through. I usually take the biggest one. Almost. So because it's going to continue cooking, what I'll do next is I'll throw my carrots in. Give those a quick swirl. Okay, it's up to you if you want to throw more coconut oil in at this point, you can. However, the celery has some moisture to it, right? I'll throw that on the top for now. Some people don't like crunchy celery in there. I like to cook it just because it goes really soft. And you don't actually taste the celery. I'll close it up just for literally a minute to heat up. Alrighty, so let's give that a whirl. Now we haven't spoken spices yet. You can put spices in whenever you want. I really just put salt and pepper, but I've just come back from South Africa and my brother has a really good knack for mixing spices, and so what we have here is one of these spices that we use on barbecues, braais, we use it on literally everything. So I'm going to throw a little bit of that in there. There's no MSG in there, it's just pure spice. Do I need salt and pepper? Not really, but I'll throw in a bit of pepper for myself. And no salt needed. Shake that up. And this is a really good way to get things mixed up. Okay, you can let that cook a little. So I can already see the celery starting to cook up a little. And I'll cover that up for literally another minute. Then I'll throw the peppers in. Okay, that's cooking up nicely. It's actually got a really nice aroma now with those spices in there. Okay, and then lastly is the peppers. Done. Swirl that around a little, and yeah, I'll leave it to cook for maybe about 3 minutes or so on a lower heat and covered. Righty, let's see what we got. That's pretty much ready. So the veggies are not overcooked and we haven't killed the nutritional value of that. You can see they've still got some good color. It's not super soft. Yeah, it's good. I'm happy with that. I'll just let it sit. Stove is off now and it'll just continue cooking for a little longer. Okay, so this is how I'm going to apply these veggies to my breakfast. So I've cracked 2 eggs. Let's put a little bit of milk in there, give it a little bit of a creamy texture. Beat that up. So what I'm using here today is I've got some spinach. I found this cumin cheese in Amsterdam. At first, when you think about it, it's like, don't know if it's going to taste good, but when I had a bite of this, it's actually really flavorful. I'm going to add some avo to that as well. So you can throw your veggies on right away to warm up. or you can throw your cheese on to start melting in. So as you can see, that's where the handle is, right? I'm going to put everything on the right side of the handle because that's how I'm going to fold my omelet. Now I can throw my veggies in. Again, I'm going to put it all on this side here. I don't want to put too much because what happens when you try and close this omelet, it's just not going to look as pretty. So now you've got a good mixture of your carbs, your low GI carbs, which are your yams, a bit of veg, and then your protein as well as your fats. Now there's going to be some extra fats coming from the avo as well. Right, throw my spinach on there, spread that out. Let it cook a little. There you go. Now just add my avo to the top there.